I'm Harville Hendrix.
I'm Helen LaKelly Hunt.
And we are partners in life and work. And one of our works is Safe Conversation, which we've created that helps people talk. And today we are wanting to talk to two people across the world, whom we will introduce in just a moment.
Safe Conversations has spread to 17 countries, and we are glad. We're really interested in how this is impacting other countries, and we don't know because we haven't had a chance to really discuss this with Ali yet. But
but we're finding out, and we'll find out today, and want to share that with you. And in Iran this morning, Ali is available. Ali is a part of the global Safe Conversations movement. And we want to introduce him in that capacity and hear what's happening in Iran. And he has a friend named Habib, who is also on. So shall we go to see what Ali wants to say about himself?
Tell us about the two of you.
My name is Ali, and from Iran, actually. And Habib is my friend. We've been I think I met him 3 years ago, and we talk a lot. Every day we talk about everything. We talk about psychology, talk about everyday life events, talk about everything. I love him, and yeah. And I do couple therapy. I'm a Safe Conversation leader in Iran. I'm also an imago therapist. I started to be an imago therapist 5 years ago, and I see clients at my own office. I've been married 10 years ago, but I have no kid right now, and I love my wife too.
That's wonderful to hear. Yes, and so maybe Habib, now could you introduce yourself a bit?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me here, Harville. And Helen, my name is Habib, and I'm a researcher in the field of psychological trauma. So I've been doing research in this field for the past 5 years during my bachelor's and master's year. And I'm no expert in Safe Conversations, but I'm familiar with that as I'm friends with Ali. So I will be happy today to share my stories of coping with the ongoing crisis in Iran and the world. Yeah.
We are delighted that you are on, and we're delighted, Ali, that you're on. And
tell us about the crises.
Yeah, tell us about the crisis.
We know from Ali, he mentioned 10 days ago or a week ago that it's the New Year there, and people are trying to celebrate the Persian New Year, but then also in the midst of it's a time of hope for you, but what is it like?
Okay, everything is up in the air right now here, and this kind of paradox in Happy New Year festival. People greet each other, go to each other's place, and kiss on their cheek, and they shaking hands, something like this. They go. They go out with each other, but unfortunately, I think it's gonna be the first festival that we cannot do them, all of them. So we need to stay home. But if I wanna talk about some other people, some people don't take it serious. They greet each other. They go out. They do everything. Maybe they underestimate the risk of the danger, the risk of the being infected. but some people stay home, keep physical distancing, and they call to their friends, relatives to agree to say Happy New Year, something like this.
Yeah. So there is a quarantine going on, as there is across the world, and some people, like everywhere, are honoring it, and some are not. And so, how are you doing, and how are you feeling with this personally, and about your work?
I'm not in my hometown right now because my parents live in another city. My wife and I came to the city to be with them. They are old, they need support, and they need us to be with them. So we came here, and all of my workshops have been canceled. I do couple therapy and counseling online. My colleagues and I have some online workshops for people how to cope with their anxious, their stress. For me, I'm a kind of relaxed person, so I do everything. So I greet, I shake hands, I kiss. I don't know why. Maybe it's a kind of relaxed. But I am okay. I'm a lucky man too. But right now, the first thing that I do is to be with my parents, to support them, to talk with them, to reassure them that we will pass this kind of situation. And my wife too. My wife is with me here, and we stay at home.
Ali, what do you think is the potential for safe conversations? Like, if we could get it out, we're excited that we're isolated here in Dallas, and it's so special in a global crisis to be able to talk to you guys this morning. As Ali, you've been staying in touch with us anyway, but it's like the time for the world together. But in Iran, what do you see as the potential? Are your relationships suffering? I just got a message this morning, an article in China, that the divorce rate is increasing in China. And how are your families doing? And is there a
Yes. You know, we have a joke here, and people say to each other that we might face a sharp increase in divorce rate after finishing this quarantine period. Because couples have to stay home with each other, so it's not surprising that they face more conflicts. Couples call me, some of my clients call me and object about overestimating and underestimating the risk of infection. Men tend to underestimate and to be more relaxed, and women are willing to overestimate and be more stressed out. So it's kind of conflict between them. Of course, they need to talk, they need to support each other, understand and validate each other, empathize. They can do all of them by safe conversations. They need to talk to each other, but they don't know how. They need, okay, you are stressed out. Okay, you said there is nothing to worry. Just mirroring and talking to each other, validate each other. So I like to use Harvey's metaphor about the safe conversation. I will say that it's kind of chalk, that you can put everything on it. You can put your frustration, you can put your anxious, appreciation, stress, everything, and move forward.
Can I mirror you back? What I'm hearing you say is you like the way that Harville talks about safe conversation is a truck, and you can put anything on it. You can express something you're liking about the world, or something that just happened, and the other person can mirror you back and you feel connected. Or you could talk about problems or frustrations. And did I get it? Is that the point you were making?
Yes.
That, and if we just talked differently, Harville has this vision, we just have to learn a different way to talk to each other. So thank you so much for sharing this. And so Ali and Harville and I are buddies. They're wanting to help any family that's struggling and their relationships are stressed. And especially if the parents are getting near divorce, we want them to know there's something that could help save those families and make them feel better.
Yeah, and you just gave them an illustration of what it would look like to be mirrored back so that people can pick it up.
Well,
right
and
there.
I know that you, Ali, had a couple on Zoom that was going to now do use safe conversations with their frustration, but you mentioned Zoom ain't so great in Iran, and but they were going to change your frustration into a request and demo that on this video.
They
And
are here right now, I think.
they are here.
Mahdi.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Hi, everybody.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
Oh, hello.
What are your names?
My name is Shiva, and
My name is Mahdi.
Mati.
You can also call me Matthew if it's hard to say Mahdi, yeah.
Thank you for volunteering to do the demo of converting a frustration into a request.
No.
Actually, thank you for having us.
Well, we're
It's an honor and pleasure.
tell us a little about yourself. And what would you think they should talk about?
But how would you define yourself for the viewing audience?
Yeah.
well, how would I? I'm a stressful person, and I'm kind, and I would say,
Are you all married, or
yeah, we're married.
you're married? How long have you been married?
We've been married for 2.5 years.
And do you have any kids?
No, we don't.
And so do you both work outside of the home or just inside the
Well,
home? I know you're inside.
Yeah, we're currently it's our Nowruz holiday, so everywhere's closed, and Mahdi's having some online classes, but I don't work
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
But generally, I work outside. I teach English in some institutes, and I also have my own office. So I go out. I spend most of the day outside, either in the institute or in my own office. But I barely work at home. Now these days, because of the circumstances, I have to stay home and I have to work from home, which to me is fine. I hold down on classes, and that's not much of a problem, except it's mandatory. And this being mandatory is kind of a burden upon my shoulders. Sometimes it's hard, to have to stay at home, but I gotta put up with it.
Well, I have a question. You all have been married a little over 2 years, and you all look awesome, and you're sort of glowing, and you look happy, and it seems like maybe you were really once in love, and that you have a great relationship. However,
Maybe you still are. Yes.
as we talk about it, there are 3 phases of a relationship. There's romance, there's the power struggle, and then eventually you find real love. And have you ever found yourself in the power struggle? Or have you ever had a frustration with each other?
Yes, of course.
Well, it wouldn't be honest if we said no to that.
Okay, drum roll. I'll turn this over to Harville.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, we would like to, as you know, do this show in order to also make available the Safe Conversation process to as many people as possible. And we heard from Ali that you all might be willing to let us walk you through a safe conversation process called sharing or mirroring of frustration, and be a very simple process. So would you all be willing to do that?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, by all means.
Great. So why don't you turn as much as you can and face each other, and on the couch.
The first thing you need to do is make an appointment. Now, which of you would like to express the frustration first?
Ladies first, like always.
Okay.
So, Shiva,
Yes.
do you have a frustration in mind?
Well, I have a lot, but
Identify one only, because it's very important. The point of expressing the frustration and the way we're teaching you is to increase the likelihood that he will change. If you're upset with him, if you have a negative look in your eye and you're frustrated, he'll get reactive and withdraw. So you want to pull him into a conversation by
Yeah.
hey, Matthew, I have a frustration, and is now a good time that I could share it with you. And the reason is if Matthew isn't available now, he'll say no, but he'll tell you when he's available so he can give you his undivided attention.
Yeah. So Helen, I'm wondering if
Yeah.
she has a frustration about Matthew, that'd be okay. But if she just has a frustration about the situation, that she could also talk about that. Which one do you think they should pick?
In our workshops, we always make it personal.
Make it personal.
Mhm.
Okay. So we'll make it
Something
personal.
that he could do to change
Something that
his
he could do
behavior.
to reduce our frustration. Okay. And Matthew, you're willing to engage in that conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm asking, I just had a thought. Have you all practiced this before? Have you worked
Yeah,
with?
we've done it. We had sessions with Dr. Ghasemian, and we are familiar how to do it. We've done it before.
So ask Matthew if he's available now.
Matthew, are you available now?
What kind of availability are we talking?
I want to share something with you.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
So you all are now looking at each other's eyes, and we want you to stay connected with the eyes. And you've taken a deep breath so that you can relax, sort of into yourself, and relaxing into what you're going to say. Shiva and Matthew, you're clearing your mind so that you can hear. And so I'm going to give you what we call specific sentence stems, and then would like you to finish the sentence. And are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the first sentence stem. Shiva, say, Matthew, the frustration that I have right now is.
Matthew, the frustration I have right now is that we don't spend as much time together as we should.
So Matthew, say, so if I got that.
Mm-hmm. So if I got that, you're frustrated now because we don't spend as much time together as we should.
Did I get that?
Did I get that?
Yes.
So is
That's-
there more about
Is there
that?
more?
Yes. We're at home most of the time, and you're sitting separately, and you're with your phone and busy with your phone, and I'm busy with my phone, and we're doing nothing, but we don't spend time together.
Let me see if I got that. The more is that you say we're spending time here, both of us at home in the same place, but separately, you with your own phone, I with my own phone. And this is making you upset. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
So you say, well, thank you for sharing that. And what would you like different? So Matthew, you said, well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing that. And what would you like to be different?
What would you like different? Yeah. So now say, well, what I would like that's different is.
I want us to spend some time together, doing fun activities together, both of us involved in the same thing.
So if I got that, what would make a difference for you is.
So if I got that, what would make a difference for you is that we spend time doing the same thing together at the same time. We be involved in one thing together rather than separately. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for
Is
sharing.
there more?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, do. Is there more about that? And let's just see.
Thank you for sharing.
So look at her.
All right. Is there more?
Yeah, is there more?
Yes. And I have a feeling that if I come to you while you're on your phone, I may be distracting you from your own activities.
So if I got that.
So if I got that right, you have a thought that if you approach me while I'm on my phone, you might be distracting me. Is that right?
Yes.
Is there more?
So tell me, what can I do to reduce your stress about that?
Wait for you.
And so you asked that, Matthew, what can I do?
Yeah. So, what do you think my part would be? Yeah. What can I do to reduce that, feeling for you?
Well, I think if you would suggest me to come to you and we do something together, or when I talk to you, you put your phone away, this would make me feel better.
Matthew, would you say, so if I got, do a summary, if I got your frustration and I got your wish, it was the following.
So if I got the frustration right, you get frustrated because we don't spend as much time together while we're at home and we don't engage in the same activity together. And also you have a frustrating feeling that when you approach me while I'm busy on my phone, you might distract me. And your wish is that we spend more time together on the same activity, and that I put my phone aside and listen to you when you're talking to me. Is that right?
Did I get
Yes,
it?
that's right.
And I'm willing to do that, and tell her what you're willing to do.
Did I get it all?
Yes, you did.
And now that I'm thinking, I am willing to contribute to mutual activities together. And I will from now on listen to you solely and put my phone aside when you're talking to me.
So now, Shiva, would you mirror back him? So what you're willing to do is, so mirror back what he's willing to do. So if I got it, you're willing to.
So if I got it, you're willing to do more fun. You're willing to put your phone away when I talk to you, or have us engaged in more activities together. Am I right? Did I get it right?
Yes, that's right.
So thank you for listening to my frustration and giving me my wish.
Matthew, thank you for listening to my frustration and wishing to solve it.
And so thank you for asking. And Matthew, say thank you for asking. Okay.
Thank you for sharing your frustration, and thank you for asking.
Shiva, close up with thank you for listening.
And thank you for listening.
Okay. Hey.
Great job.
Great job.
Thank you for listening.
So would you be willing just to say just a sentence or two about what it was like for you to do that process?
Well, I think this is really good. We sometimes, unfortunately, we don't do it when it's really great. We are not angry, we're calm, we feel respected towards each other, and it's kind of peaceful what we do like this. I really like it, and I hope we get to do it more.
It really makes it, you have the frustration, but to do this makes it feel good, feel peaceful, and you hope to do it more. Did I get that? Yes.
Yes,
And
that's right.
And I wish we had more time
Yes, that's right.
to express yours, but you all know what to do now, and you can do that after the show. You express your frustration, and then you practice listening and offering him something.
Yeah, and let me mention that may I share a personal response listening to you two?
Yeah, absolutely.
You all reminded me of me. When I would be frustrated that Harville wasn't very much fun to be with, and Harville was also very frustrated with me because he didn't want to be with me. I mean, he's an isolator anyway, and so and then I'm a hailstorm, or I'm someone who's wanting to engage, and so we had a very parallel relationship until we made a commitment to every night get joke books. And have you ever heard of Groucho Marx? We actually got Groucho Marx glasses, like little funny glasses that have a mustache, and we'd put on the Groucho Marx glasses, and we'd tell each other jokes before going to bed, and sometimes at dinner with the,
Yeah.
and we did something to shift the mood to be fun. So and sometimes it's not what you're asking for, it's how you're asking. If you ask in an angry way,
Yeah, we kind of, you know.
Yeah, and let me make one other comment about what the process is. We have a phrase that behind every frustration is a wish.
Yeah.
And so if you practice thinking, oh, I'm frustrated about this, but you don't share that, you say, what do I want, which if I got it, I wouldn't be frustrated. And there's a next step when you get practice in this is that you just go to the wish. So, and the way Shiva would do that is to say, so Matthew, may I make a request? And the request is that when blah, blah, blah is going on, would you be willing to stop being on the phone and talk to me and look me in the eye, or whatever your wish is? Then Matthew, you would mirror that and then say, well, I can do that now, or I'll do it in a few minutes. But you go to wishes rather than frustrations, and it becomes even more peaceful because there's no exchange at all of the negative energy that you might feel around a frustration. So anyway, I think that's sort of a wrap up, unless you all want to say more about what it was like for you.
That's one of the best ways to communicate. It's safe, it's predictable, and it is very, very, you know, I would say soul elevating rather than kind of, you know, tensions or tension arising. It's, in my opinion, it's a very, very good way to go through the process of communicating and talking with each other, sharing emotions, even if you're you know, very intensely frustrated. You're going to be feeling okay because you know there's somebody who's going to listen to you, because this is going to be a controlled behavior. You're not going to get outraged. The other person is not going to get equally frustrated. We are bound to control each other, and this is, in my opinion, this is a very, very interesting way of sharing even intense moods and intense feelings.
Matthew, did I hear you say it's soul elevating? Was that your phrase? Soul elevating?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard that phrase. Would you say a little?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Would you say a little more about that? I've never heard anyone use that phrase before, but I was very touched when you used it.
What I mean is sometimes your body's okay, but it's your soul that feels like it's locked down, it's imprisoned into a dungeon or something. But these conversations, they can elevate your soul up to the sky it belongs to. Mm-hmm. And that's why, you know, that's why I came up with this phrase, soul elevating. It elevates not just your mood, but also your soul.
That is so beautiful. And when he's
the person who elevates my soul.
And when he mirrored you back and they were your words, I saw you relax. Just to be mirrored, even if he hadn't agreed, you just suddenly went, he's listening to me. That's what I made up. I saw your face and everything relax, like, at last he's listening.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing what it's like to use this safe conversation process.
Yeah, thank you.
He always listens.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder if Ali has any final comments.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So happy to see you guys.
Thank you all for being on to all across the world, demonstrating how human beings can connect anytime they want to in their relationships, but especially in a time of world crisis. It's more important that we connect now. So if we get the skill along the way, then when a crisis comes, you have something to do other than fight. And you all are so courageous just to show up for this interview and doing the demonstration is an act of courage.
Yeah.
And you have our appreciation and gratitude.
So Ali, do you have any comment?
They are a lovely couple. You know, when I was listening to them, it warms my heart. Now it's kind of a spiritual practice, you know, and I wanted to show my deep appreciation to you for inviting us, Habib, me, and Matthew and Shiva. It means a lot to me that you invite us to the show.
Well, it means a lot to us that you would come on the show, and because you're helping all of us, and we're all helping, that we are connected, we are one humanity, and we are now together in a way we didn't anticipate, but we do see that having a crisis, we discover our humanity and our connectedness. And if we can remember that when we're not in a crisis, we're going to have a better world, and all of us will be connecting all across the world.
What they modeled, Ali, was we get frustrated if our partner isn't partnering well. Well, that's sort of a compliment to them, because aren't they lucky that we want to be with them? But we get frustrated, and so when we express it in a frustrating way, they want to run. They're scared. And this is why Safe Conversations is called SAFE.
Yeah.
That it creates more safety,
Right.
where you can deal with what you're really frustrated about. But if you deal it with making an appointment and then a gentle look in your eye
Mhm.
and a kind tone of voice, your partner is much more likely to respond and say, yeah, let's
Yeah.
make time together. Now that this short video could just transform so many couples
Yeah.
and or families, because it applies to kids. Kids can do this too,
So
and parents to kids.
let's see if Habib has a comment about watching the demo, and then I think we'll be close to saying goodbye for today. So Habib, would you like to make a comment about that and what you saw?
Well, that was the first time that I actually watched like how couples in reality can practice self-conversation, because I had heard about that from Ali, but I didn't know how it would work and how peacemaking it could be. And I could completely feel how safe they could feel while they were sharing their concerns with each other and their frustration. And I believe that it's a very constructive way for communicating our concerns.
Well, given that you're a scientist around trauma, I mean, nothing gets more traumatic than when couples are fighting.
Yeah.
And we know about that. We used to do that a lot. And thank you for being on. And Ali, do you have any closing words?
I wanted to say that I also feel connected. As Harville always say, we are all connected.
Yes, and we feel connected to you and to everyone everywhere. And we thank you all for being on and being a part of responding to the biggest crisis human beings have ever faced, so far as we know. And thank you very much.
We will stay in touch, Ali, and Persian, Happy New Year to all of you. The spring is coming, and out of the horrible crisis of COVID-19, the spring has to be there somewhere, and it'll rise.
Yeah, and we want to say to all of you out there watching, thank you for being with us today. We hope that you got a process that can help your relationship also in a time of crisis. Good day.